There were 5 disappearances between 1945 and 1950 in the thick forest of Glastonbury Mountains in southern Vermont. None of them were found except one body, of which cause of death could not be determined. Mysterious disappearances are not the only strange things that has happened here. There were also rumors of Bigfoot sightings. According to a local lore, this mountain is said to be cursed. An Algonquin legend warned of a man-eating rock in the mountains which would open up and devour anyone that's unlucky to step on it. The native Indians who lived around were aware of something sinister going on, and they always avoided this place. A New England author, Joseph A. Citro, called this the Bennington Triangle. There have been many sightings of a creature that resembles Bigfoot in Glastonbury Mountain. This creature became famous as Bennington Monster. The first reported sighting was in early 1800s when a stagecoach full of people was forced to stop on a washed-out road. The driver saw huge footprints in the mud. They were too large to be of a human. Shortly, that coach was attacked by a large creature who tossed the vehicle onto its side. It is said that frightened passengers saw only 2 big eyes before the monster disappeared into the jungle. The creature was described as large, hairy, and a black thing which was over 6 feet tall. Carl Herrick, who went missing in 1943 during a hunting trip, was discovered 3 days later. There were huge footprints around the body and he was squeezed to death. Coming back to the disappearances that happened between 1945 and 1950, Midi Rivers was the first person to go missing. He was a 74-year-old local hunting guide who knew the area very well. On November 12, 1945, Rivers was leading a group of hunters near the area of Hell Hollow. On the way back, he got ahead of them, but he never reached the campsite. When Rivers did not return to the campsite, the group which was with him earlier reported this, and an extensive search was organized which involved locals and US soldiers. They looked for him for 8 days, but they found nothing but a cartridge which looked like the one that Rivers used. The locals strongly believed that Rivers, who knew the area very well, would return someday, but he never did. One year later, on 1st December 1946, Paula Weldon, an 18-year-old girl who was seen going on a hike on the long trail wearing a bright red jacket, disappeared. She was seen by a few people before she went on the hike, but no one ever thought they would never see this girl again. They realized Paula was missing only when she missed her college the next day. Just like the case of Midi Rivers, another extensive search was organized which involved more than 1,000 people along with aircraft surveillance. Even a reward of $5,000 was announced. FBI too got involved in this case, but no one had any luck. They never found any clue or a body. It was as though she had vanished. Exactly 3 years after Paula Weldon had disappeared, James Tedford went missing on 1st December 1949. He was a veteran resident of Bennington Soldiers' Home. Tedford was in St. Albans visiting his relatives, and he disappeared when he was in the bus on the way back home. He was one of the 14 passengers who was seen at the last stop before Bennington Station. When the bus reached Bennington Station, he had vanished. His luggage was still in the bus, and along with the luggage, they saw an open bus timetable on his seat. He was never seen getting off the bus anywhere. Of course, there were investigations after this, but it got them nowhere. Like the other two, Tedford had vanished. After this, an 8-year-old boy, Paul Jepson, went missing on October 12, 1950. Paul, who was playing in his mother's pickup truck, was left briefly by his mother, who went to tend to the pigs. When she returned, the boy had vanished. Lots of people got together to look for the boy. The boy's father mentioned that Paul talked about visiting the mountains often. A bloodhound picked up Paul's scent and followed it to the Glastonbury Mountains, but it was lost near Crossroads. The search went on for several days, but the boy was never found. "16 days later, on October 28, 1950, Friedlander went missing. She was camping with her family near Somerset Reservoir when she, along with her cousin Elsner, decided to go on a hike. A little away from the campsite, Langer fell into a stream and she told her cousin to wait while she went back to the campsite to get changed. Elsner, who had waited for some time for Langer to return, went back to the campsite to check what was taking her so long. But Langer had never returned to the campsite. She had disappeared. There was a massive search that went on for days, but they found nothing. 7 months later, on May 12, 1951, they found her body near the reservoir, and that area had actually been searched extensively before. The cause of death could not be determined. She was the last person to disappear and the only victim whose body was found. Many believed that the place was cursed. Some said that these were the victims of a serial killer. There were also some who believed that these were abducted by an unknown entity. Other than the mysterious disappearances and Bigfoot sightings, people have also reported seeing strange floating lights and also hearing weird sounds. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Please don't forget to click subscribe and the bell notification. Have a lovely day and take care.